Welcome to the Ultimate Dental Podcast, the place where you can learn how to create a dental practice and a business life that you love. Listen in with Dr. David Moffet as he interviews successful entrepreneurs and successful business people and successful dentists as they share their business successes, their stories, and their breakthrough ideas. Sharing pearls of wisdom that you can take back to your practice and implement immediately so that you can have that great practice with more patients, higher profits, and less stress. This is the podcast where great dental practices meet with successful business processes. Thanks for tuning in to the Ultimate Dental Podcast, the podcast where thought leaders, industry experts, and thriving practice owners reveal their very best tips, tools, and strategies that will help you to grow your dental practice faster. Now, here's your host, Dr. David Moffet.
And welcome to today's episode of the Ultimate Dental Podcast. I'm your host, Dr. David Moffet in New South Wales in Australia, and today I'm talking to Dr. Gargi Roy Goswami, who is in Berhampur, which is in Murshidabad, which is in West Bengal, which is in India. How'd I go with those names? Was that okay, Gargi? Oh, good.
Yeah.
My
Fantastic.
wife's mother was born in Calcutta, but she's not an Indian. It was her father was working on the railroads back then. So that's as close as I've gotten to India, the country. I do like Indian food though,
Okay.
so that's okay. But anyway, Dr. Gargi, you've got a very interesting story. Now, you and I met through LinkedIn, and we've spoken
Yes.
before about what you're doing. And you are a qualified dentist, but that wasn't your first calling to be a dentist, and it's not what you do now. Um, what I met you about was that you were actually doing medical writing, and you were helping uh, dentists and other professionals who, for whatever reason, were having a break from their profession, be it to have a family, um, to have sort themselves out from some burnout or just some distraction issues, and you're helping them to become medical writers because there is this need for uh, experts to be writing. So let's start with talking about that. But as I said, we met on LinkedIn, and you have 8,779 followers on LinkedIn. So you obviously are doing something right. So let's please tell us about the medical writing and what you do there.
Yeah, thank you for that question, Dr. David. I think medical writing or medical communication has been a very old field. It is not new, just that we are talking about it more today. The only reason is that the job or the client paraphernalia, what it was before COVID, was not like how is it now. So this industry is rocking and it's skyrocketing, and it is going to stay for long long time, and it is there. The reason is that we have a lot of research, clinical trials in terms of innovations and developments that are going on each day in many parts of the world. Second, we also need experts where companies who are into manufacturing, say for example medical devices, so they need experts where they help these manufacturers or companies to submit for different approvals. Third, we also have another area in medical writing and communication is about talking about the science or health to the common people, or maybe for the scientific people as well, but in a very simple language, just churning out the main concept and giving it in a very simple way. So there are a lot of areas with this industry, and what I feel very excited about this industry is that you can really choose an area where if you find your liking in this field, in some area it is so varied and so broad based that anybody can choose a certain kind of field. So, for example, suppose if somebody is good at writing research papers or they have some experience in that. So, as I said, that there are a lot of companies who look out for qualified people, and it is not just that we have a degree of undergraduation. These companies need people who are highly qualified, like MD, MS, or MDSs, PhDs, postdocs. So they need because the person should understand the science that is happening, and they need to they hire people for getting publishable, for writing publishable material. Second, there's also a advertising and marketing side of this, like when it comes to more about communication. So, for example, we write blogs for websites of different people or individuals or companies, or say you want to become a very good marketer, because any industry needs marketing. So there's something called as copywriting. So these are certain sub niches inside it, which people can just upskill themselves and start on their own, and it's a very high demand that's there now. World has opened up because of these online facilities, and definitely I would say that COVID positive side is this with this industry. So it's a lot of opportunities out there.
So
Yeah.
ultimately, you're really not a dentist. Your dentistry is just something that you did because your father was a dentist, and he needed you to come and work in his practice. He suffered an illness. Is that correct?
Yes, yes. Yeah, I was never a dentist by choice. I was I became a dentist more for my dad, to support my dad, because at certain point of time his health went down, and I really wanted to help him. Just that I have been educated in a different way. My background, I have one undergraduation in molecular biology. I have a postgraduate degree in genetics. I had a research career in different premier institutions in India, like namely Jawaharlal Nehru University, IIT, Indian Institute of Technology, Kharagpur. I have worked in these places. My forte, my main primary expertise lies in oral cancer genetics. Coming to dentistry, as I said, that I was trying for my PhD abroad in USA. I also gotten into one of the universities, but that was a time when my dad's health really, he got a stroke, cerebral stroke, and he was not able to handle the practice. So I convinced myself that I need a doctor in front of my name, either by PhD or that's okay. I mean, when I can study a lot. I love to study. So that's how I came into dentistry, and I have practiced with my dad. Still, he was there. He's no more with us today. But I have practiced almost 3.5 years. And yeah, so that's how I came into
Tell me about
dentistry.
the oral cancer research and what you did with that.
Okay, so that was my research career in oral. Like I used to do work with oral cancer cell lines, where we used to see different genes that could be suppressed, and the idea was to see how we can keep the normal cells and kill the cancer cells. So there were, I mean, that's a very easy way to say. So I actually worked on a very common, well-known gene, that is P53. So I had done many gene cloning, and we had to test those things in on different parameters. So that was my entire forte when I used to work with oral cancer genetics. But to be very honest, when I did dentistry at that time, I had no idea how a cancer dreadful it would be, because that time it was not no there was no need to see a clinical case as such, because we used to get samples of tumor samples, or for our work it comes handy to us. We don't go and see a patient, kind of thing like that, because we would be inside the laboratory as a scientist. But when I read the pathological part more, and I encountered real people, so that opened my eyes, and I thought that there some interjection, some bridge should be there, between the two sciences. So yeah, so that was all about how I am into dentistry and how I came from that background. I looked into oral cancer that way. So it actually broadened my area, my thought process about the disease, and how we can get into more about doing, you know, early detection, or probably finding the points from how pre-malignant goes to a malignant, and is there any detection system, because nowadays if you see, lot of startups are working in this space. A lot of
Mm.
work is happening
It's
at
a
this
big
moment.
field, and I've been talking with a
Yeah,
company in America that's doing a saliva test uh, to uh,
yeah,
to see, because usually by the time they're detectable visibly, it's way too late, and
exactly,
the treatment
exactly.
is aggressive, it's disfiguring, and and
Mm,
sometimes you wonder, is there a point when it's that late to to the trauma that people have to go through from the disfigurement and the surgery. So
absolutely.
uh, it's a great it's a great field that you're investigating in, and I guess the thing that I've seen, there's a lot of lifestyle choices that people make that predispose them to oral cancer, sadly, and it's that naivety that people have. Oh, this won't happen to me, but they chew tobacco and other
Yeah,
natural substances which release poisons which are causing the oral cancer. So very, very interesting. Now, you also mentioned that you do some digital content marketing services as well. Like you're a
yeah,
busy
yeah.
woman.
Yeah, yeah, I mean, I love to be, because I'm quite workaholic and I love what I do. That's something which I am very blessed at, because I feel that when it is job or business or anything that you are doing, at the end of the day we should sleep well and we should be happy. So I have always made my own choices. I have taken decisions on my own, and I really enjoy what I do. So yeah, coming to content marketing, because I again, as I said that before, like it again, it comes into communication part. So initially I started. I have been as a freelancer when I was very young, right from school, but I never thought this could be a business side of mine as I'm doing it today. But I see a lot of scope. The reason is that there are a lot of hustle and bustle around digital marketing today, and it is the need of the hour, because we need to adapt to the changing dynamics of the market. It's not anymore the traditional. I'm not telling that traditional marketing does not help. It helps, but digital marketing just is. You can do blast. I mean, you can blast out your efforts with sitting at your home. That's something which interests me very much. And when it comes to digital content marketing, like we offer the services to companies who are into biotechnology, life sciences, and healthcare, and definitely oral healthcare, dental is there. The reason I started this is because I have faced quite a lot of challenges when I wanted to do something else online. So whether it is getting up a website, whether you are promoting your content about your science or product on social media, the problem which I feel personally, or the gap which I have seen, is that you will have a lot of digital marketing agencies or digital marketers who are there existing, social media marketers who are existing. The problem is, if today, for example, Dr. David, if you are trying to promote your clinic or anything like that through social media, and you have to explain what is a pre-malignant lesion, so it is the digital marketer can only help you in with technology. But the content is the crux of any digital marketing or any online internet marketing. The content is the king. So I felt that there is a need to do this, because when we come from a background, we can simplify the complex science easier than anybody else. So if we have the content, good content ready, then I think it's just that technology addition definitely that's required. It just helps us to go up to the curve. So that's why I started this agency. I started the services, and my forte is, as I said, like mainly I'm very niche down into oncology, uh, genomics, immunology, more on that side, and including the oral healthcare research, people who are working in different startups who are coming up and who are working. So that's how I
Yeah,
do it. Yeah.
and now you've touched on the fourth thing that we were talking about before we came on, and that's the
Mm.
the you actually began the Indian Academy of Clinical and Dental Genetics. You've got an interest
Yeah.
in genomics. Tell me about that.
Yeah, that's interesting because, as I said, maybe probably because of my previous educational background, and I have done extensive work in those areas with, every day dealing with DNA, RNA, protein. So I am excited about it. And why I started this academy, because, as I said, like when I came into dentistry, I have had experiences that. Particularly when it is understanding a disease pathology or doing some experiment or doing some research project on this, there is a lack of understanding and there is a gap of understanding between the basic sciences and the clinical sciences. So in my own small way, I thought that okay, I can relate and build this bridge, and I started this academy. Before COVID, my idea was different. I wanted to bring up some laboratory and testing center kind of a thing. But post COVID, I entirely changed my model, and since I am by nature, I am academic person, I like to teach and I like to share whatever I know. So I felt that this would be a good opportunity. So right now we run specific courses which focuses on dental genetics and saliva diagnostics. And people, and I mean, people can just take up those courses and learn, and they can implement it. They're very practically oriented courses where it's not only just theory. It just doesn't talk about okay, this is this stuff. It will also tell you how you can plan your research project, how you can budget it, and how exactly you should go forward. And even if you want to do a startup, what would be those key points that as a person you should note, how to apply to different funds and grants. So it's kind of comprehensive way we look into it. But yeah, so that's something which runs on autopilot now.
Wow. Now,
Yeah.
that genomics, is that because some of the work you do is not for profit? Is that a not for profit, or is that for profit? That one.
Yeah, so I actually I have a good subscriber base on LinkedIn, because I run a newsletter which is, I mean, I run a newsletter which names as Dental Genetics, and there I have I think I have just crossed recently. I mean, till today it's 5353 subscribers which I have on that newsletter. But I do it just for free. I don't earn from anything, or I don't have an intention to do, because I personally feel that certain things in science we need to speak about, we need to make people aware. So that is something which I love to do. So I do that. Yes. I keep writing many things, taking up research papers, latest research, and simplifying it. And so that my idea is that somewhere these ideas might inspire somebody, and they can step into the younger generation might take things forward, because now the world is changing in many dimensions, even academics and industry, whatever we put through. So
Is
that's the whole
artificial
idea.
intelligence affecting your careers?
Okay, that's a good question. And I'm very happy to answer this. No, it's helping a lot. It's helping a lot, because I think we have certain myths around artificial intelligence. The kind of tools, kind of technologies with artificial intelligence that has come up, it makes us more powerful. It makes us most powerful. It increases our productivity. So I have seen like many writers, because I have been into different communities, because I write myself. And like, I don't know if I mentioned, I have written a book couple of years back with one of my collaborators, Dr. Paul Disloy from USA, on that's what during COVID, like it was saliva detection. I mean, how you can use saliva for detecting COVID. So So the thing is that when it comes to artificial intelligence, um, take for any certain things, like you have a lot of data set and you want to create a graph. Just imagine what would be the most traditional way. You pull it up into Excel and you create that graph. Excel gives you something, but today that you need a manpower for that. So for example, I'll just give you a very relatable example. For example, in your practice you might have lot of patient data every day that you get, but I'm not sure that whether we analyze those data, because if you tell me about cancer, I'm just diverting from what you asked me, because I'll come to that
Sure.
answer. Supposedly, in which part of the part of the world you stay and the region where you practice. For example, if I want to see that is there a point whether there is new cancer incidences, oral cancer, so maybe your patient data, if we could, if just with simple analysis, data analysis, we can get that information from your patient data. Just that we need to feed the system or the AI tool. We need to tell it that, see, these are the things, these are the data points, and we want, I want you create something for me, authentic graph, or whatever, a visual representation. So this is just one example. When it comes to creating videos, creating social media posts. I mean, I'm not telling that it can replace human. No, you always need a human intervention in anything you do. But AI, we just need to adapt to it. Otherwise, we will remain behind. This is what I think, and it actually helps in increasing productivity. I don't know how to, enumerate or give a number to that. And I think, at least for myself and my businesses or my team, it has helped us minimum, I should say, 4x times. We do more work, is in a easier way, in a more productive way, which would have taken longer days to finish that. So I think I personally am very in favor of AI and learning things and implementing it in the right way and the
Yeah, I
ethical
think
way.
AI,
Yeah.
from what I've spoken to people, and I've spoken to a couple of futurists about it, it's certainly going to
Yeah.
help people, and it's actually going to create more work for those businesses that
Yes.
adapt with the AI. It's not going to put the only people it's going to put out of work are
Absolutely.
the people who ignore AI. But there's it makes life, you've got more time if you can do stuff with AI. You've got more time to work on other parts of your business where you actually do need manpower. So
Exactly.
I'm glad you've said that, because um, I was wondering, with all these online businesses that you have,
Mhm.
um, whether there is a need for more manpower. But you've explained that quite well. Where do you see the future of what you do going, or is in the next 5 years? Do you have a plan, or do you just are you
Yeah.
able to? Are you willing to? Do you want to share that plan with us?
Yeah, of course, of course. I basically, as I said, that my mind is in from inside. I'm an academician. I am more like a scientist mind. So I love to do certain things, and I also, by nature, I'm a philanthropist. So I want to bring out a software, or a software as a service, or a platform where it would be like a one point solution for any people. I mean any people, meaning to say, from definitely from the fields of healthcare, life science, and relatable people, where they can find one point solution for their online marketing needs, as well as their academic needs. I am just hopeful that I can build such a platform, as well as it can also give an opportunity to upskill, and you can immediately take those things and you can apply, and start your own business if you are interested to do a business. So freelancing is something I really, I mean, that's going to stay forever now, and it's skyrocketing like anything. And I think, I don't remember where I saw this post, but in one of the Instagram accounts which I follow, somebody, I'm not sure whether this is absolutely true or not, but I saw that one, they made a post where it says that the founder of LinkedIn says that this 9 to 5 job kind of a pattern, it's not going to stay by 2034. So so yeah, I mean, I don't know the truth about that post, but yeah, that's something which is inspiring. And I think we need to look into these aspects. Freelancing is the best thing. It gives you flexibility. I mean, at least I mean, that's for me. I mean, that's my
Oh,
perspective.
I'm
Yeah.
glad you're not being captured by the what can be for some the life sentence of being a dentist. You know, some people get stuck and say, "Oh, well, I'm stuck here now. I've got the student debt, I've got the practice debt, I've got the family debt, and dentistry is my only thing that I know," and they just stay in it. And that's not really a good thing for their patients to be seeing a dentist who doesn't want to
Yes.
be there. And so the fact that you have been in dentistry and you've seen what a joy it was for your father to be a dentist, it that that wasn't a joy for you as such to take over. You
Yeah.
enjoyed being a dentist, but you've already experienced so much more, and you're already doing so much more. You're an ideas person, and you put things into action. That's for sure. Um, is there if people want to get in touch with you, Dr. Gargi, how do they follow you on Instagram, on LinkedIn? You've said you've got a small Instagram account, and also they can get you via email. How can they do that?
Yeah, sure. LinkedIn, I'm very, very active on LinkedIn, definitely. And you can find me there. And on Instagram, I'm not very regular, but yes, I try to post at least once a day. And my Instagram profile is more about dedicated to, I put some tips or some information regarding the career of medical communication and medical writing. And people can get inspired from there. But yes, LinkedIn is something which I prefer, and
All
I'm
right,
very,
so
very
easy to
active
find you
on
on
that
LinkedIn.
platform. So
There's not too many Gargi Roy Goswamis on LinkedIn. It's not that common a name and easy to find. Do you have an email address that they could send you an email as well if need be, or would you prefer LinkedIn as the communication? Okay,
I will
well,
prefer LinkedIn.
that keeps
Yes,
it
I will
very
prefer.
clean. Well, Dr. Gargi, thank you very much for your time today, and I appreciate you taking the time, and I appreciate the efforts that you're doing with the following the and being an educator on the Advance My CE platform that we've developed as well, because I think that you have something to give to some dentists, and they may not know about it. And I think the opportunity of becoming a
Exactly.
medical writer for a little side hustle, as they say in the US, or an extra business, something that you can do from home, I think is a real opportunity, because dentistry is really hard to do from home. You know, you've got to set up your own surgery in your home. It's not something you can just do on the kitchen bench.
Absolutely.
But being a medical writer is something that they can do. So, uh, Dr. Gargi, thank you again for being on the Ultimate Dental Podcast, and always good to talk to you face to face, and always good to see you on LinkedIn. Thank you again, Dr. Gargi.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for this opportunity, Dr. David. It's a pleasure. And just to add some end note, like you talked about, because we are having this course on Advance My CE. So basically, in that course, what I tried is not to teach somebody how to write a research paper or write something, but it is more important that what you should know, whether you are you should know the essential things that you must have, before you get into this industry, whether you are searching job or you are trying to become a freelancer or trying to start your business. So I think those are the areas which are quite gray, because skills, many skilled people we have, that's not the problem. But how we do a personal branding, how exactly we go and do networking, and if it is freelancing, because that's my forte, so I can tell more about it. So how you actually find clients, how can you market your services, as well as if you are trying to get job, then what are the areas, how you search a job, and in what way you should apply, how you should uplift your resume. And here comes AI. So there are a lot of things that I have spoken inside that course, and I'm sure that if somebody who doesn't know anything, I mean, particularly this course that we have on Advance My CE platform, and I find myself very privileged to be on this platform as a mentor. So in this course they will get the idea entirely about the industry. If nobody, I mean somebody who's taking up this course who doesn't know anything about this industry, I've started from like scratch, and then given that one step by step pathway, which will really give a clarity, and people can make a decision for themselves, like whether really they want to get into this, or and if yes, then how. So yeah, so that was that was my end note. And I thank you so much for bringing me on your podcast. It's a pleasure,
Oh,
it's an
lovely.
honor for
Thank you,
me.
Dr.
Thank
Gargi.
you,
Thank
Dr.
you for
Dev.
spending time with us today. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in to another inspiring episode of the Ultimate Dental Podcast. We appreciate each and every one of you for being part of our dental community and joining us each week on this incredible journey. If you found value in today's episode and you don't want to miss out on future episodes packed with expert insights and actionable strategies, here's how you can stay connected with us. Firstly, hit that subscribe button. Whether you're listening on your favourite podcast platform or watching on our website, subscribing ensures you'll never miss an episode. Secondly, share the love. If you know a fellow dentist or colleague who could benefit from the wisdom and knowledge that we share here, please share our podcast with them. Also, please share the podcast on your socials by simply clicking on the social icons wherever you view or listen to this podcast. Together, we can all do our bit to elevate the dental profession. And finally, stay engaged with us. We love hearing from you. Your questions, comments, and feedback fuel our mission to provide the best content for your professional growth, your personal growth, and for your practice growth. Remember, your journey to creating a dental practice and a business life that you love is our mission, and we're excited to be your trusted guide along the way. Thank you for being a part of the Ultimate Dental Podcast. Until next time, keep smiling, keep striving, and keep on tuning in to the Ultimate Dental Podcast.